Hey guys, welcome to Reddit Brew. Today, I will be reading from the r/EntitledPeople subreddit, so let's jump into it. You need to carry your baby to term and then put her up for adoption. This was a pretty eye-opening lesson about trusting the wrong people too quickly. Some people are just sad little scaly snakes. I, 20-year-old female at the time, met entitled Biatch, 23-ish female, at a tavern I used to waitress at. We were both waitresses, and we hit it off pretty fast. I was a little naive, and trusted her despite being warned more than once by different people that she was bad news. In my defense, my father died soon after I met her, and I desperately needed a friend. There were all sorts of red flags, and I did all the dumb shit you're not supposed to with people. I loaned her money. She did usually pay me back, typically after running to mommy for cash. I loaned her my car for a short time, as I really only wanted to drive my dad's car for a while, after he passed, and hers was out of commission. I went far out of my way for her more than once, and it's clear to me now that she never actually appreciated me as a person. I was her walking taxi, car, and bank loan service. I very stupidly put her on my phone plan after she complained about not having a working phone, and that bit me in the ass a little ways down the line. I did it right before the plague hit, and she decided that waitressing was too stressful for her, so she quit with no savings and no job lined up. This meant I had to pay a neat sum of about $600 for her iPhone. So that's basically the summation of how I was a dumbass. Now on to the good part. I met my significant other at the same tavern. He was a cook, I was a waitress, we were good friends, and after about a year, we became more than that. We're both head over heels for each other, and have an excellent, healthy relationship. It was one of those rare moments in life when you just know. So we happily entered into the best relationship of both of our lives. And I suppose my happiness must have physically pained entitled bitch. At this point in time, it's a year or so after she and I met. I had learned to cope with my father's sudden passing. I was financially secure. I genuinely enjoyed my jobs. I loved my boyfriend, and I just didn't need her like I once did. Then, the seemingly impossible happened. Despite me being on the pill, and despite my boyfriend's vasectomy, I was pregnant. His vasectomy was one of the reversible ones, and it decided to reverse on its own. The stars aligned, and I became pregnant with our beautiful daughter. I was about a week or so away from turning 22 at this point. My boyfriend was the more financially secure one at the time, due to some unrelated drama at the tavern that forced me to quit. But I had another job and was just starting a second one. By this point, we had moved in together, and although money was tight for about a month, I had already secured another job and those paychecks had just started rolling in. Now, there of course was drama with EB the night before I found out. It was her birthday, and her boyfriend was taking her to a very high-end, pricey restaurant. Reservations needed, and all that jazz. I messaged him and asked him to keep quiet, so that I might surprise her by showing up to the dinner after I had previously told her I couldn't go. But I needed to know the name of the restaurant, so I could look up the menu prices and make sure it wouldn't be fiscally irresponsible of me to go when we were just starting to be able to loosen our belts again. I also asked him not to tell her because I didn't want to make an empty promise and disappoint her if I had to bow out. Besides, we had already made plans to celebrate her birthday together afterwards. Well, I decided I couldn't go. To my annoyance, her idiot boyfriend went ahead and told her I was coming anyway. So when I messaged him to tell him I wouldn't be able to make it, there was a silence from the both of them after he tried to get me to go and I declined. I had already decided that it would be a fiscally irresponsible move on my part. My attempts to reach out throughout the evening were ignored. The next day, it occurred to me that I hadn't had my period in a suspiciously long time. time, and I had been dealing with unexplained nausea for days. So I took a pregnancy test. To my great surprise, it was positive. I tried to call EB, but she kept rejecting my calls. When she finally deigned to speak to me after I texted her the news, she called me and made her birthday dinner into a huge ordeal. She told me that she was disappointed, and how could I do this to her, and why couldn't I have just borrowed money from her boyfriend to go? I apologized and told her that I just couldn't really afford it. And of course I'm not going to ask her boyfriend for money. First of all, we weren't close like that. And secondly, I'm not going to borrow money that I can't afford in the first place. Entitled bitch of course had no concept of such financial responsibility, as at this point, she had borrowed over $1,000 from me. Close to $2 actually, which she did pay back, but she still hadn't paid me back for the $600 phone bill. She refused to accept my apologies, and that's when the real nastiness began. She told me that I was too irresponsible to have a baby, that I was too poor, since I had decided not to attend her dinner in the interest of saving money. So, according to her, the only thing I could do was carry my pregnancy to term and then give my baby up for adoption. I was shocked. I had been a little apprehensive at first when I got the positive test result, but I knew that I wanted this baby. I am extremely pro-choice, but abortion just wasn't something I personally could bring myself to do. Besides, I was already back on the path of financial security I had once been on. I was living with someone I love more than I thought possible, and who very much loves me back. We're both mentally stable, happy, healthy, and young. We wanted this baby. When I communicated all of this to EB, she said that I was being stupid, and that I could either give my baby up or lose her as a friend, because she needs friends that can afford to do things. That moment was like a sucker punch of clarity. I finally realized and accepted what everyone around me had been telling me this whole time. She was a manipulative, selfish, greedy, self-centered, scaly little snake. She was an entitled bitch, capital B. I informed her that this was an incredibly easy decision to make, and told her that our friendship was over. I told her that I expected the $600 I loaned her, and she went ballistic. First, she tried to claim that she didn't owe me anything, and when I doubled down, she said that she shouldn't have to pay me because she allowed me to drive her car for a few days. I laid out the stupidity of what she was saying and threatened to take her to small claims court. Eventually, we agreed on $300 because I was just sick of her and wanted the whole ordeal to be done and over with. EB had her boyfriend write me a check for only $250. And on the note line, she wrote a snide little comment about it being for my poor baby. I debated on hauling her ass to court, but at this point, I felt that she was more of a headache than the drama was actually worth, and just decided to cut my losses. I texted her coworker, her new BFF that she used to talk through, so that she didn't have to directly talk to me, and warned her not to be stupid like me, and advised her that she should be careful around her, and to never lend her any money. She never responded. But EB decided to break her silence and rage at me about how I shouldn't involve other people in our business. All I could do was laugh. I blocked her on every social media platform known to man, blocked her phone number, and basked in my newfound happiness of life without a soul-sucking leech attached to me. My SO and I have since moved into a spacious home that we're very secure in, and our beautiful baby girl was born a week early, but perfectly healthy on Christmas Eve. I've never been happier or more content in my life. We're still very much in love, and we've been discussing marriage. Our daughter is a happy, healthy nugget of pure joy. All in all, I look forward to life with my beautiful family, and I count my blessings every day. Oh, I know the bitch who can't pay back $600 and gets her boyfriend to pay for everything didn't just call OP broke. Ugh, what a terrible person. Let's just hope that entitled B with the niche never has kids of her own. I'm really glad that OP seemingly learned her lesson in not bending over backwards for people that would never do the same. Some people truly are just users and abusers, and if several people warn you about somebody, listen to them. Or at least take those warnings into strong consideration before opening yourself up or being charitable. But anyways, that is all from me today. I hope you enjoyed this Entitled People story. If you did, please leave a like and subscribe. I truly appreciate when you do, and I will see you in the next Reddit story. Bye!